So many times I think we've been talking, and every time we finish talking, we're like, shit, I wish we had recorded this, right? There's so much value in that conversation. The concept of being bored is a lost art. I think I've noticed it a lot where people in their 50s or 60s, after they've made a lot of money, they realize that shit.
Years back, whom I met, who was multi-millionaire, would be worth $100 million or something, couldn't even sign because his hands would shake. Your bank account and your body operate on the same principles, and no one tells you this. That's what we are going to do on this very podcast, which is our first podcast that we are launching. And
the mind, or you said the body and our money or bank balance operate on the same operating system. Awesome. Yeah. I think that's something that we've been talking about a lot, and I think that's what brings us here, right? So I think eventually what we've been talking about so much. I think we spend so much time talking on a daily basis, and I think we both felt that it was time that we bring our wisdom to the world.
Wisdom or our observations or stuff that we've learned, bring it to you for your benefit, and nudge you, move you in the direction of you living a healthier and a wealthier life. That's the intent of this.
Yeah, I think so many times I think we've been talking, and every time we finish talking, we're like, shit, I wish we had recorded this, right? There's so much value in that conversation. I don't know how this is going to go, because now the cameras are actually on and the mic is actually on, but we'll see how it goes. But I think there's so many things as far as our lives are concerned that we talk about and we discuss, and that we've been doing practically and applying into our lives, that I feel a lot of people in our stages in life can benefit from.
Absolutely.
And we'll get to learn. I think that's a massive incentive, right? That we'll get to cement our own beliefs, our own thoughts.
Also prep for this show every time that we come on the podcast. And we've been thinking of starting this in Feb. It's already March over. We're doing it finally.
I think we spoke about this 2 years ago first.
We spoke about it a long time.
2 years ago. I think we got lazy, or just it didn't work out, and then we started doing short form content.
Yeah.
So we both said
we started short form content also on the same time.
Around the same time. Yeah. We started around the same time, and we thought that's easier to do. Easier to edit, easier production. Here we're sitting in this studio, we have to book. I remember I started creating content on the pot. And that, I don't know if you ever saw any of those videos that I made initially. My first few videos, I actually used to sit on the pot and make them because I was embarrassed about so many things. So I said, I'll put the camera on and let me start. So from there to come into an actual studio to record our own podcast. I mean, I think we've been on other podcasts, and we've done mock podcasts for each other.
Yes.
Some of those are pretty cool. Those mock podcasts we did. I got almost 2 million views on one of those videos that we did.
Wow.
On Instagram. So that was
cool. Insane.
Mock.
Many people did think that I was actually being interviewed. There's my friend interviewing me.
They
were like, you fraudster, you made us feel that you're being interviewed. You're some superstar.
Exactly. And I think that whole mock podcast form of creating content had become quite popular in the middle.
Absolutely.
Because it actually gives you this natural, authoritative feel, which is not what we're trying to do here. Here we're just two friends trying to have a conversation that we would do normally, just with the cameras on, so that we can include a lot more people within our sphere of whatever we're talking about.
Absolutely. And where did this originate from was that I've been a banker for 20 plus years, and I see a lot of people in the corporate careers not taking care of their health, and that affects them mentally, physically, biologically, which slows them down and cuts short their career, doesn't keep them sharp. And I also was a victim of it long time back, and a lot of practice and a lot of things that I changed about my life allowed me to thrive in my corporate career purely because of the changes I made. So I just thought of expressing my views around longevity, so people in the corporate career could live, could create a fantastic career for themselves by creating a massive runway ahead of them. That was my reason to create the show. What
sure. You? Before I come into mine, I also want to add to what you said, because when I keep talking to Kanika, my wife, I keep talking to her and I keep telling her that Manish is someone who believes in this thing that I'm not going to do something alone. That if I'm doing something, I'm going to share it. I'm going to include other people in that exciting thing that I am doing for the betterment of my life. And I've seen you do this for everything, right? Even the group that you've created with the health group, which is a pretty cool group. Someday, if you're lucky, you can be part of that community. But basically, in that group, so because everyone shares their workouts, everyone shares their healthy
This is
lifestyle.
a corporate group.
Our corporate work group, which Mr. Manish championed, and I think has grown. When did it start? How long has it been?
I mean, it started 6 months back, I think.
Really? No. Even before I joined, this has been going on for
It
long.
would be 6 or 8 months.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
Just before you
the point is, because of that group, so many times, you know,
Yeah.
I think I'm fairly consistent with my workouts. But on those days when I don't feel like working out, when I see someone else on that group working out, I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna, at least sneak a workout.
That was the intent of the group.
And it works so beautifully.
And so many people have told me in the bank that I work out purely where people are working on, they're all sharing their messages.
Absolutely. So what I think...
and the early days, it was only me and Arun sharing. There were only 2 of us sharing. Today, the whole bank.
Today, everyone shares. And I think it's amazing. And I'm not someone, I hate WhatsApp groups. I hate sharing. But just the fact that you can build a community to drive people to better their lives and improve their lives willingly. It's no one's on that group. No one.
You can't make it even.
That's also the idea of why we're doing this. Right?
Absolutely.
To create that community, to create a safe space for people to express themselves and to better themselves.
Absolutely.
It just works, right? If you work out with someone else, if you have someone to discuss it with, if you have a non-judgment zone where you feel like, hey, if they are doing it, why not I do it also?
And we were also inspired by so many people like us.
Absolutely.
Just like us, younger to us or older to us, but just like us. And if they could inspire us, we could do the same.
Absolutely. And I think that is perhaps the foundation or the fundamental reason that we're doing this. And for me, it's the same thing. I've been wanting to, I have so many thoughts in my mind. We don't often get a time to crystallize them. We don't have a time to research them. We don't have the time to express how we truly feel, sit back and actually think. So for me, I think a great reason to do this podcast or to start doing this, and I hope we do it consistently, is for me to crystallize my own thoughts, for me to firm up my own belief system, and for me to share a lot of cool, exciting things that I want to do and talk about them. And I think
and you already do it on your Instagram reels, where you produce shows or reels on financial planning. I already do on longevity.
Correct.
So it'll be fun to do something at the intersection of health and wealth put together.
Absolutely. So I am the financial wingman. Manish is my fitness wingman because it's because of him that a lot of improvements in my health have come about. So we said wealth and health are two of the... I mean, if I gave you 2 options of what you want in life, everyone will say, I want more money and I want to be healthier, right? Absolutely. So we said, both of us coming together be a great amalgamation. And what we've realized, I think, over a period of time is that all the concepts that apply to money also apply to our health.
Absolutely.
And a lot of concepts that apply to our health also apply to our money. They're the same, right? And that's why you started with with your only planned line of the show, which was that our bank balance and our body
and your body works on the same principles.
Operating system, right?
And the operating system is pretty simple: consistency, long-term thinking, delayed gratification, risk,
compounding. My favorite word of all time.
And these are the 5 principles predominantly health and wealth both run on.
Right.
Like if I was to look at my health at 46, I'm much stronger than I was.
You're 46, huh?
I'm 46. And I'm way more stronger than I was when I was 26. And the only thing that I've done since 26 to 46 where I am now, just consistent, daily, boring habit of going to the gym or working out or eating healthy, sleeping on time. That's the only thing which I was never doing at 26. At 26, I was smoking or I was drinking or I was sleeping late. But small things, boring stuff.
Yeah.
And it's night and day difference between how I was at 26 and now.
So 2 things. One is, I've seen your pictures when you were 26, right? I've known you for maybe 10 years now, maybe. And I can definitely say that you look damn funny back in the day.
Yeah.
He looks way better now than he did at 26. So hats off to that. And I've seen a lot of people compliment you, right? We work together also. We do a lot of activities.
I was happy. Day before, someone told me, Manish, you're 46, your skin is glowing. I felt good.
Yeah.
Feels good to hear that. No one ever told me that at 26.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of your skincare routine, so it's great. I think at some point we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how his face is glowing so much, and that's one. But the other thing that you mentioned was the boring aspect.
Yeah.
Right? I think boring is the new sexy. Whether it's your health or your money, boring is the new sexy. The concept of being bored is a lost art, right? In every aspect of life. I know we'll try and...
Like people struggle with the whole thing about getting bored. Like exactly. They need constant dopamine.
Growing up, we were bored so much and we look down upon the fact that, I'm bored. But today, I think that being bored is an art. It's a blessing if you're bored, right? Today we have so much of dopamine from everywhere that
And
we
mental
lose,
stimulation.
that we lose track of the boring. And as far as investing is concerned, I think
Or we lose track of boring, or we just avoid the boring, which is also a trap.
Correct. We avoid the boring. But purely from the boring point of view, as far as investing is concerned and your health is concerned, both of them have to be boring. If you're trying to make your investments and your workouts exciting all the time, you're going to screw up, because those are not repeatable, they're not consistent, and they take far more effort, and they ensure that you don't show up every day. So as far as investments are concerned, automate everything. Boring S&P 500 ETF, that's all it takes. As far as your health is concerned, boring. Every morning, 6 o'clock, reach the gym. Just do that.
Or whatever time. Just reach the gym 4 to 5 times a week.
Absolutely.
That's
boring.
it.
Yeah.
If you were to just work out 5 times a week, that itself would make you better than 90% of the world, because 90% of the world doesn't work out. 90% of people around me don't work out.
And don't invest. So, and also, while I was saying this, I thought that, while it's boring, you also have to have some masala. Otherwise, it can get bland.
Of course.
So there is room in your investments. There is room to have some fun.
Yeah.
The 5% of money where you can trade, do your cryptos, invest.
Do the adventurous
some
stuff.
adventurous stuff. Where you do
Even
5%.
even health is the same. Have a cheat day.
Have a cheat day.
Like in 7 days, 6 days, be principled.
Or like the luxury class we did that day.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, right? We had these two pretty looking women in front of us, right?
Luxury is like a Pilates, advanced version of Pilates.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I still don't know what that was. It was crazy.
But it was brutal. There are people who think that luxury or Pilates is for women only. No, it's tough. It is brutal, and I don't know why people feel it's for ladies only.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of both of us coming together is to share with you these principles on which your bank account and your body works on. And Kartik, anything that comes to your mind about people that you met who are rich and you've seen them not take care of their health, like a mistake you see rich people make?
Yeah, so I think both of us being in private banking and managing a lot of wealthy individual money, I think I've noticed it a lot where people in their 50s or 60s, after they've made a lot of money, they realize that shit, it's time now to start taking care of my health. And today, there's a lot of information out there, right? People are aware, people are conscious, people are very conscious of their health today. But the sooner we can realize that, is it possible? The question is that, is it possible to do both of them simultaneously? Can you keep getting healthier and wealthier at the same time and not wait that, let me make my money today, I'll take care of my health later? Do you think that can work?
No, it doesn't work at all. Purely because by the time you made your money and then you say, I'll prioritize my health now, or it's too late. Sometimes your body is gone through an irreparable path. It just cannot come back. And your body doesn't have the strength to really do what you could have done if you were doing strength exercises since you were 25 or 35.
Right.
So sometimes you just don't get enough time. Like I know a client years back whom I met who was multi-millionaire, would be worth $100 million or something, couldn't even sign because his hands would shake.
Vulnerable client.
Now, no matter you put Arnold Schwarzenegger in front of him, all right, and is he going to inspire him? No, he just doesn't have the physique to be able to work out. Okay, he might do some physio, which is what people do when they're really rich and they have to start. But look at Arnold. Arnold is 75 plus, 70 plus, I think, all right, is still freaking working. Now, will this client, all right, ever go to Arnold's place? No, he won't. He's just gone beyond that stage that he'll be able to do physio maybe, which is what I don't want ever to go through that stage. And I'll tell you, Kartik, every time I meet someone who's rich and not healthy, it scares me. It just becomes one more role model I don't want to ever emulate. It's good to meet people like that because I never want to follow that path that they followed. And I also meet, just to share something, and I also meet people who have become strong but never focus on money.
But do you see a lot of that where people are extremely fit and healthy and disease free but are broke as shit?
I see that.
Really? I'm not talking. So I know this could, and this is not a stab at physical trainers because I think their work is really hard.
Absolutely.
And I think until they can, crack the code, they are financially unstable with good physiques.
Yeah.
So outside of that, in a regular day-to-day life, do you meet the average Joe who's not a physical trainer, but average Joe who's fit, healthy, amazing physique, but they're broke?
Yes.
Really?
When I say they may not be broke, but they are just surviving paycheck to paycheck. Okay, they are optimizing for spending money on health and fitness and gyms and all, but they haven't spent any time learning about investments. What you and I are talking about becoming good at both. It's like if you have two kids, you can't say that, oh, I have time only for one kid, I'm not going to take care of the second kid. No, you will take time out for both the kids. Unfortunately, people look at body and prioritize it. They don't land up learning investing. Most people land up prioritizing investing because they want to make a lot of money, because success has its own, joy. But they don't land up prioritizing the body. But both of it is equally important. And I see a lot of them not prioritizing both.
Yeah.
I would say 95% of people don't prioritize both.
That's true. I remember watching this episode. I can't remember which podcast it was on, but John Abraham, someone asked him, okay, I remembered which podcast, but anyway. So John Abraham was asked, you're jacked, you're almost 60. I don't know, is he close to 60 maybe? But he's like, and he said,
plus for sure.
He's like, I work out every day. When I die, I want to be jacked.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's a great goal to have.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's made his money, but just the fact that, the thought that I want to be jacked when I die. I mean, I'm very crystal clear on why I want to be fit, on why I drag myself out of my bed every day, not being a morning person, why I go to the gym every day. I'm very clear. And I think we'll talk about that, as the episodes unfold. But absolutely. But also, so one is, and both these things actually, the money part and the health part, both of them I've realized in the last 5 years, both are extremely easy to do.
Yeah.
I say it's not.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. They're extremely simple, not easy to do, but they're extremely simple.
Yeah.
Right? As are most things in life, right? As human beings, I think we want to complicate things. We believe that having a phenomenal physique is extremely hard, but actually it's doing the simple things every day consistently in a boring fashion and allowing it to compound over a long period of time.
Consistency, which people do not have in anything, except for what I see people bringing consistency to their corporate job, because they'll show up, because they're paid to show up, because if they don't show up, their job's gone. But besides that, I see people struggle with everything because it's not compulsory. Coming and showing up to your work is compulsory. But if people could just bring in that consistency, like, I tell you, I have a philosophy, Kartik. I don't have 24 hours. I have 23 hours. Okay. I don't have 24 hours. That 1 hour will go into something fitness or health related. I'll walk, I'll work out, I'll play paddle, but it will go into sweating. It will go into becoming stronger. It will go about becoming leaner, becoming fitter. But I don't have 24 hours. But that's why what allows me to be consistent. And the endeavor of this show is to get people to do those things consistently about money and about health.
So how do you think this show will help someone, or how are we going to ensure that, or not, it's not our role to ensure that anyone does anything, but how do you think this show can help people? Who are we trying to help? What are we trying to do here?
If I was born in Warren Buffett's house and if I could hear every conversation he had, I would have been a different person way earlier in my life. Warren Buffett came in my life when I was 39. I read his letters from 1965 to 2000 and
his shareholder letters,
or his annual shareholder letters.
Okay.
My entire perspective of investing changed in 2019 when I read those letters. So if his expressions about investments and markets changed my entire thinking about money, I know that you and I riffing about topics will change people's perspective on things. Now, people might either land up getting inspired by the show. People might land up getting tools or hacks or routines from the show. People might land up learn from from guests that we're going to bring to the show. But they're going to move. The endeavor is that people are going to move. They're going to be nudged in the right direction. And if you land up following us for a long time, we promise you that your life will not be the same 10 years down the line. Forget 10 years down the line, a year down the line. If you were to consistently be with us.
Manish, if the camera's off, and I'm telling you that if we do this for 10 years, we are going to, today who we are is going to be a shadow of what we're going to be. We're going to be jacked. We're going to be freaking rich. We're going to have phenomenal relationships. And we would have built a community and a friend circle of such phenomenal people who resonate with how we think.
Who have the same wavelength.
Oh my God, I got the chills.
And we were just talking about it in the morning.
I got chills thinking about the fact that we do this for 10 years. That would be amazing. Imagine you and me looking better, fitter, and richer than we are today.
Absolutely. Our wives are going to be a little insecure.
Our wives are going to be insecure for sure.
But that's okay.
We'll deal with it.
We'll deal with it. But that's the endeavor of the show. And I am so looking forward. We are so looking forward to bring to you a lot of stuff that we have in mind for you.
Awesome. And the other thing that we decided is that hey, we want to have fun doing this. We want to ensure that we keep enjoying the process, but also the people that eventually end up following this journey and joining this journey along with us also have fun while doing it. So I think we are a sum of all our habits, and we are going to challenge each other to do one thing every week for 7 days. So I don't know what that is. It could be anything. Maybe like doing 15 push-ups every day or 20 burpees every day. But we'll come up with something, and we'll invite as many people to join this challenge. Maybe someday we create a WhatsApp group where everyone's pushing each other, like the one we did, and at some point get to a massive community. I don't know, do events, create meetups, travel the world together with like-minded people, because that's what I want to do. Me and my wife keep saying that it'll be great to have more people that we enjoy who are on the same wavelength. Absolutely, we can travel together. And most of my travel that I enjoy today are surrounded by certain activities. And someday we'll talk about that also.
We have to go to Thailand, to that street which has only gyms and all.
Oh, that's amazing. I went to Phuket Cleanse. I've gone to Active Escapes. I do one trip every year. And something I'd love to talk about, because I so look forward to it. I'm so glad that Kanika is also on the same page. I took her to Phuket Cleanse. She loved it.
I know.
And I'm going to take you and Usha as well.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do it.
But for this time, the challenge we are taking on is 100 push-ups.
Okay, cool.
100 push-ups for the week. So not in the gym. In the gym, we have our own workouts. He has his workout, I have my workout. 100 push-ups outside the gym for the week. And you're following us. We invite you also to take on the day.
Yeah. So we're doing 100 push-ups in the week. So before we meet next, we have to finish 100 push-ups.
You got to finish 100 push-ups.
And we keep each other accountable.
Absolutely.
We'll create a WhatsApp group now. Let's create a WhatsApp group for an accountability, or we'll call it something fun. And then as and when, maybe that group.
Maybe we'll add many people.
We add people to that. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments if you want to join the WhatsApp group. Maybe we'll have to create one. But
I have friends who are watching this, and they'll be like, "Don't put us another KPI." They're like, "Manish is going to put another KPI on us." Yeah,
no, not a KPI,
but yeah, why not?
So cool. So we'll do 100 push-ups, and what happens if you slack?
Well, if I slack, then
we'll come up with something.
Then we'll come up with something.
Then you pay for the podcast studio next time.
Okay, or I'll pay for Wagyu beef.
Oh, Wagyu beef. Okay, done. Actually, that place at Hugo's. That's the place we wanted to check out.
Outside.
Maybe someday Hugo's will we'll have the Hugo's sponsor us.
Never know what all could happen. Yeah, never know what all could happen. But we are taking on 100 push-ups for sure this week.
Let's do it outside the gym.
Yeah. All right, and for the next week, what we are going to be discussing is.
Are we doing the COVID 2.0 or are we doing retirement?
We'll do COVID 2.0.
Let's do COVID 2.0.
We're going to be discussing COVID 2.0 because many people are working from home in Middle East and many people around the world have work from home jobs. So we want to talk to you about how do you optimize or design your life when you're working from home, monetarily and body-wise, which will help you out.
Great. And is it the Manish and Kartik show or the Kartik and Manish show? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next one.
Looking forward. See ya, guys.